Do you guys like dancing? I would like to tell you that I do, but I'm not exactly good at it with dancing with a partner. The reason why I say that is a couple weeks ago, I decided to go down to Power and Light in Kansas City, and I was watching one of the soccer games, right? I get a little kitten heels on. I'm looking good, okay? My friend is like, hey, go dance with this person. He'll teach you. I'm like, great. Okay, man. Thanks. And so we're dancing, and I'm getting a little too hot, okay? I need to take a break. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go. He missteps and kicks my big toe in, rips off the top right corner of my big toe, and practically like rips back like diagonally my big toe nail. And immediately I went, that feels like if I dipped my toe in the seventh ring of hell, okay? And so I looked down and I'm like, ooh, yeah, I'm bleeding. I had to wrap up my toe with some bar napkins and hobble back to where the Uber could pick me up so I could go home. So I got a messed up toe right now, if you will. That's fun. Anyways, how are you guys doing? Today's video is gonna be really interesting and one that I have been wanting to talk about. How in the world can trademark conversations get interesting? I'm glad that you asked. We are gonna be talking about Hot Girl Walk and also Hot Girls Read. These are two separate people, two separate situations, two very similar situations, weirdly enough. We're gonna talk about trademarks and how some things are kind of messy going on online. The overall issues when it comes to these, because they're two topics that are about separate people, but are incredibly valid together. So before you hop into today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below so you'll be notified of every single video I post. So before we get into everything, I wanna take a quick break to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is MyHeritage. They sent me a DNA kit to actually learn all about my heritage. And the fact that the kit was $25, which is the cheapest that I've ever seen one, I immediately thought, yes, this is my time to do it now. So the test is incredibly simple. It just takes about 2 minutes. You swab on the inside of your cheek, you send off your results, and then the lab is gonna do the rest of the work for you. In a few weeks, they send you a percentage breakdown of your origins across 42 supported ethnicities and 2,114 geographic regions. So they're covering all of the bases for you. And it will also notify you of new relatives based on shared DNA. And I have my email, so we're gonna go through my results together. Isabella, you are 26.2% Germanic. Wow, 25.6% English, 11.3% French, 9.8% Breton, and then 27.1% of 6 more ethnicities. Another really interesting thing I can do is look into genetic groups that are connected to me that are in the United States, heavy in the Midwest, which is ironic because my mom and dad are from the West Coast. Somehow we scooted back over to the Midwest, and a lot of my family is specifically located in the Midwest, heavy in Missouri. Maybe I was just built to be a Midwestern girl. So now we can look at DNA matches, 15 extended family members, and then over 12,000 distant relatives. And then what's crazy is you can see where your DNA matches live, over 1,000 in the UK. I had no idea I had so many extended relatives in the UK across the pond. Hello! Now, I wasn't able to uncover any crazy family secrets, but I was able to uncover my dad's high school yearbook photo. And can I just say, boy, don't we look... See, I have his nose. I am my father with a wig on, practically. Now, MyHeritage is not just a platform for finding out about your ethnic origins or even where you came from. It's also an amazing platform to explore, research, and build out your family tree. MyHeritage has committed in its privacy policy to never sell or license your genetic data. So your information is not going to pop up somewhere else, which is very important to me, hence why I was very comfortable with doing this test. Now, I really quickly want to tell you guys why this MyHeritage bundle is a phenomenal deal. So if you scan the QR code on the screen or go to the link in the description below or pin comment, you can use the code Isabella, because you're also getting a 30-day free trial on MyHeritage's best subscription for family research. Thank you so much to MyHeritage for partnering with me on today's video. And now let's get into it. So to really get into this, again, I just have to say that I'm not in any way trying to send crazy hate or anything to the original creators of this. That's not my goal. But I think that some people get a little too excited about business ideas and don't think it through. And then it ends up backfiring and becoming the worst marketing known to man, which ends up ruining your branding in general. And this comes down to the topic of trademarks. So we're going to start off with the first one, which is Hot Girl Walk. So I'm going to actually watch some of the screen recordings in here and give you guys a little intro of what we got going on, because I'm telling y'all right now that this is a little bit dumb. While I respect people's hustle, there is an aspect of this that is quite stupid. Creator is Decay Fit. I really hope I'm saying this correctly. I'm so sorry if I'm not, by the way. Sometimes I'm genuinely just a an idiot. Decay Fit is the content creator, and she made a video that was talking about she was hosting a little event for walking. So let's get into this video.
Legally, I'm not supposed to say this is a hot girl walk.
I don't know if you know this, but hot girl walk is trademarked, so you're not allowed to use it. I personally didn't know that, so when I wanted to host the hot girl walk event, they told me to take it down immediately. So instead, this is a high temperatured woman walk, which got the message across and in my opinion was a lot better.
Hey Deanie, hope all is well. We've received a copyright infringement report related to your event, Get Your Hot Girl Walk In. The report specifically states Hot Girl Walk LLC owns multiple registered trademarks in the United States, including trademarks which prohibits others from hosting a Hot Girl Walk event. Hot Girl Walk LLC is requesting that the event be removed from your site. We want to give you the opportunity to remove or change event details. Please take a moment to resolve this within 24 hours. If we don't hear back from you within that time, we will need to remove the event from our platform until this matter is resolved. Thank you for the attention to this, and please let us know if you have any questions or need help reviewing the content at Posh. So I think it's like a platform where you can buy tickets for things.
This was a free community walk with girls in the DMV area. It was such a beautiful day for a walk, and after we got to socialize, eat, drink, and get refreshments from Alpa Foods. We're so excited to host the next one, so make sure you follow us for upcoming dates.
Now, we already have Hot Girl Walk trademark. Her event was getting impacted and she's calling it out. I think that's a pretty damn fair conversation. You guys do not really know why this could be a problem. Is the Hot Girl Walk, honestly, Hot Girl has been a term for quite some time, and this is kind of the good basis of what I want to get into for both of these topics and situations. Is when I think of Hot Girl, I think of Megan Thee Stallion's Hot Girl Summer album. Hot Girl, being a Hot Girl Summer, that term blew the fuck up years ago. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar, Megan Thee Stallion 1, she's so hot. But in all seriousness though, 2, Megan Thee Stallion is a rapper, one of my favorites, might I add, and someone who I've been listening to pretty much since she blew up, okay, from the very, very beginning. And I vividly remember when I was in college in 2019, the album Fever was dropped. Hot Girl Summer featuring Nicki Minaj and Ty Dolla $ign, that was dropped in 2019 as well, which essentially kicked off Hot Girl Summer. Hot girl shit. Real hot girl shit. Those were terms that were utilized in this album that essentially kicked off the idea of Hot Girl Summer and being a hot girl, okay? Now, yes, the term hot and whatever and being a hot girl was not just wasn't just in non-existence before. However, it went hardcore mainstream to my knowledge, all because of Megan Thee Stallion. And now we have people in 2023 and then on trying to coin terms. Anything in this world should be trademarked that's in the term of hot girl. Megan Thee Stallion should own that shit. End of story. Because I cannot see or think of anything involved with being a hot girl outside of Megan, because that is an aspect of her branding. But everyone else uses that term. I use it actually frequently. So with this topic in hand, it actually really bothers the hell out of me, because I feel like we're cosplaying the fact that we own a term and connect it and throw another word in front of it. Hot girl walk, hot girl read. So that is bothering me in this situation. And so to continue on, this video was alluding to, I can't say this or use this because somebody filed the trademark for it. So if you guys are unfamiliar, now let's get into the person that is going at this other creator. The name of Mia Lin. Mia Lin is the person that apparently has trademarked the term hot girl walk. Now again, walking when it comes to fitness is not like a new thing by any means. She decided to comment on the original creator's video and said, "This is so shady for no reason, LOL. I actually coined the phrase hot girl walk and filed for a trademark shortly after posting my first video, and I host events all around the world for free for women. Rather than reaching out to us to maybe collab or do research before infringing on my brand, you post this video which is not in fact giving women supporting women." And then the original creator of the video made a response. And then we're gonna get into my yapping because I am itching out of my skin to tell you how I feel.
So this is Mia, the woman who trademarked and copyrighted Hot Girl Walk, and I don't know at what point my video seemed kind of shady. Maybe it was in the beginning where I said that legally I'm not supposed to call it a Hot Girl Walk, which is true. I'm not, because you would come for me, and all the girls that were there knew, because I started off as Hot Girl Walk. All the girls that came there knew it was a Hot Girl Walk to begin with. So I wasn't going to continue saying this was a Hot Girl Walk. I had to let them know that I'm changing the name and I can't use it anymore. The other shady thing I would probably think in the video was that I said that the name was better. I mean, if I think the name that I choose is better, that's a personal opinion. I don't think it was shady at all. Like I said, this video was not coming for you at all. It was just a video that straight went to, hey, I can't use this, so I'm turning it into something else. If it's shade, if it came off as shade, I apologize, because that's not what I intended to. Are you in your right to legally copyright, trademark whatever you want as long as it's available and you can. Yeah, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but two things can be true at the same time. If you can do that, I have every right to also express my frustration and express that, like, hey, like, I personally don't think it should be trademarked, but you know, it is what it is. And I do support women businesses, and if I didn't, like, I would have, like, I didn't even direct traffic or hate towards you, like, but I think I can also be frustrated and express my frustration too, you know? Like, I didn't know who you were. I wasn't throwing hate. I wasn't saying, oh, go bash them, go do negative. Like, I wasn't directing any type of hate towards you. So like, I think if shade was like the worst thing I could have done, I feel like, I don't know, that's better. I don't know. Like, this video was literally about like my experience learning about trademark and finding that out and turning something that happened into something better, in my opinion, like for making the best out of what situation you're in. But if you took it as shade, I'm sorry you took it as shade. I'm sorry if I threw shade at you. It wasn't my intention, but I think I can also express my frustration as well.
Here's the time where I get to be me, myself, and I. If I ever was in that situation, I would fully be like, no, I was meaning it in a shady way and I don't give a shit. Okay, you understand me? I wouldn't really care. Why? Because one, it is a good conversation to have about this idea in general of trying to trademark the term hot girl walk. I think it's crazy. That's just me though. I think that's a little bit nuts because it just doesn't make any sense. And I feel like so many people are already just using it in general. So to me, I'm actually kind of interested in how that trademark even went through, just because so many people in general have been using it. And it's so, you know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of like, how are you able to prove that you were the first one that was able to use it, or someone who coined something so truly unique? Because even if, let's say, you start talking about it back in like 2022 or something like that, lots of people have probably been saying stuff like this for quite some time. So again, like, I don't know, I've been seeing events for years talking about hot girl walk, so I'm incredibly confused about that. And also another thing I want to say with the original creator, Mia, I have a problem with the fact that it's like, oh, well, you're not being supportive of women's businesses because you call this out. No, I am all for supporting women. I'm not going to support you if you're acting goofy. So with all of this being said, there was lots of controversy going on. There were people like, no, you actually can't say the term hot girl walk when that's not true. Then people started digging on the internet more around the content creator Mia, who apparently has coined this term. And this is a video that we found that was talking about the creation of hot girl walk.
I created the hot girl walk, and one question I get all the time is, did you invent walking, or do you think you did? So let's talk about what it's like to create a viral phenomenon. I've said this story a million times on my page, but I created the hot girl walk when I was at a very low point in my life. It was COVID. I was going through a lot. At the time, there was a huge stigma surrounding walking. Nobody was walking for fitness or for fun. It was COVID, and so walking only existed as like the post-dinner thing that your mom made you do. And it sounds so dumb looking back on it, but people were not really walking for fitness like that. So when I was looking for ways to deal with stress, I was pointed a lot to running, but I just simply could not get into running. And then I realized, doing a lot of research, that walking actually had a lot of health benefits. And then I realized the thing that was holding people back from going on long walks, and that was, well, what do you do when you're alone with your thoughts? So I created a 3-step methodology to think about, first, the things you're grateful for, next, your goals that you have achieved and that you want to achieve, and after all of that, you have a mix of dopamine and endorphins pumping through your veins. And I always say you think about how hot you are, but it's really this confidence and dopamine burst that you get after doing those things. I jokingly started calling these my hot girl walks. It was what my parents knew them to be as, and my friends. And I shared this with my sorority sisters who were doing them all the time during COVID at their homes. They were the ones who encouraged me to post about this on TikTok. And before I did a little quick Google search to see if anything like this existed, anything, the word hot girl walk, anything like that. And there was nothing like it. So I posted about this on TikTok and it totally blew up. And because I created the hot girl walk, I trademarked it too. This way I can keep control over the mission of the hot girl walk, which is to keep fitness accessible and inclusive. We host hot girl walks around the world. Head to our Instagram at hot girl walk to learn more. And happy hot girl walking.
One, was the trademark filed with an actual trademark attorney, or did we try to do it independently? And the reason why I'm asking that is hiring a trademark attorney, which is something I'm hoping to do at some point for my own personal projects in the future, by the way. But that's something that you need to do, and that's going to cost a lot of money, because they're able to essentially help you out with this process and make damn sure that you're making a good decision here. And on top of that, I think some people need to lean into the idea of, when it comes to trademarks, also talking to people who are heavily involved in the business world of whatever you're getting involved in. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I don't know it all, but what I do know is public perception when it comes to a business idea, marketing, everything is very, very important, which also will be leading into the next topic about Hot Girls Read, because if you make poor choices with how you start off your success or your business, you could ultimately screw it forever, or you can make it to where you're only known for like one thing, and that's your negative impact on people, a community, how you handled a business project, etc. And I feel like this is one of those examples right now, because another thing I want to point out is if you're trademarking the term, then it goes to show if you're trying to keep it for free, okay, I feel like it's one of those things where it's so general and not unique, it doesn't make sense to trademark it. And so I don't really understand the goal of why you'd be trademarking it, nor would you be bothering other people about that, because I don't think it's inherently wrong to host events and charge for them. For example, the original creator, it looks like she was trying to sell tickets for them, which could be really beneficial if you're trying to pay for vendors, trying to host like a specific like community event at a location that requires you to pay for the said venue. Like there's so many ways that could go. And so I feel like by trademarking this, it was incredibly counterproductive and not actually thinking about how this is such a general statement right now that it's not really doing anything for you. So then it's going to create more backlash and drama. So now instead of you looking like a person who coined an idea and is making it really fun and a general interesting topic and your niche, you're now looking like you're trying to gatekeep it by filing claims against people and making them feel like they're going to get sued or negatively impacted, which is crazy as hell. And another thing I want to mention is how much research was put into this trademark, because it makes me curious about Hot Girls Walk and Hot Girls Read. Now I know they're technically in two different niches and categories, but how much more are these people going to expand with their branding and merch where they end up impacting each other? You see what I'm saying? And so I am curious about, was there an attorney involved and how did that conversation go and how did the market research go? Because is that too close, for example, to things like Megan Thee Stallion's branding or how people talk about that? How far did this go and was it actually handled with care? Me personally, I don't actually think that this was a good business idea, simply for the fact of there's nothing inherently unique about it. There's no special marketing. There's nothing that's making this like a big differentiator or like a new business that's going to hold something of value. It's so general that I'm like impressed that they had the trademark to this. Here's where I would understand it more. If you were going to actually do something really cool with it and more branding and something that was going to be bigger than just like I own the term, then I could possibly understand. If you're going to add something of value, make an actual like fitness brand, something bigger, that could make sense. But this feels like I own it and I hold it, by the way, guys. Like it doesn't feel like anything of special uniqueness is happening. That's kind of another reason why I'm like, but at the end of the day, I'm sorry. I know this from Megan Thee Stallion. The term hot girl shit, real hot girl shit, hot girl summer, that has come from Megan. One other thing I want to point out, and again, this is not to be disrespectful or rude. This is genuinely something that I'm thinking from like a marketing standpoint. None of the videos on Mia's page to me is stating out as, again, unique, creative, or fun. If we're going to hit creativity scale, we're for mega creative versus very minimal. It's very far on this side for me, just because like I'm not seeing anything really pulling, really impressive, really groundbreaking. It just feels, I understand why people are annoyed because there's nothing of value or substance and it just sounds boring and not really unique to me because everyone just uses it. So now it just sounds greedy and annoying to trademark it. Now let's get into this next topic, which is Hot Girls Read. Now this kind of gets more into like public perception and other perspectives I have around trademarking this term. So once again, Hot Girls Read. Now this is a term that has been around for quite some time. The best way that I could describe this is like, you've probably seen, like, I can only assume that this is like a Hobby Lobby sign type of common phrase. You know what I mean? Like you would find this on something that's like pink, like some ribbon over it, you know, a sign that you put over like the shitter or something, you know, in your bathroom. That's just something I would picture back in like 2017 or something like that. Anyways, this term Hot Girls Read has been around for a long time. If you take a gander on Etsy or anything, you're gonna see this phrase. So this one has been kind of around because, again, to me, it's quite generic. When it comes to book talk, there's fun little phrases like that, especially when it comes to like the spicy category of book talk, which, girl, I am there all the time, okay? If you see me commenting something feral, I'm really sorry. You're gonna have to just be like, oh, there's Bella, and move on. It's like the feral cat in the corner of your neighborhood. You're all like, there she is, there she goes, you know what I mean? So the original problem and how this all started was a creator by the name of Ali Rose Co. This is like the business Instagram. And so they made some announcements that were talking about like something coming really soon. And this business is known for selling like cute little like bookmarks, etc. You get the vibe, right? Like cute little merch. You made a post, and this is kind of what kicked off some of the controversies because people were like, what the fuck are you doing? This caption says, Hot Girls Read is officially ours. 3-ish years after I started reading more consistently and finally started to love to read, I put Hot Girls Read on some bookmarks in the cruise, and the rest is freaking history. In the least corny way possible, that little phrase changed my life and changed the entire course of my business in a way I never saw coming. I love that because of those 3 words, a lot of you found me, and I love talking about books with you. This trademark is for the girls. It's only right to celebrate with a big old Hot Girls Read drop. The biggest mock neck drop ever is coming next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'd love to celebrate with you because this is a thanks to you guys. Hot Girls Read trademarked. Now, other creators were able to share that there was some screenshots from her story saying that this is the trademark, like where she owns it, which is bookmarks, stickers, notebook covers, book covers, notepad sweatshirts, t-shirts, and hooded sweatshirts. I've seen Hot Girl Read on lots of items from other businesses that follow me. So if that is you, please remove those listings as soon as possible, which this is where I go, whoa, excuse me. Because number one, when it comes to trademark filing, again, I don't know everything, but I have several friends that are in the process of doing that. And I've dug into it myself a little bit. So again, if I have people that know more about it, please drop it in the comment section. Please remember, I am a goofy random person on the internet. There is a chance I could be wrong. But from what I do know, when it comes to filing a trademark, you have to kind of follow a little process if you want to do it right. And it's a really good idea to hire a trademark attorney. So you're able to kind of look into like, essentially, does anyone own it? What are the categories that people own it in? Because sometimes, for example, there can be like a term that is used and different people have it for like different categories. So if, let's say, Hot Girls Eat, I don't know, Hot Girls Eat and then Hot Girls Read can technically be two separate ones more than likely. But now if they get too into each other of like they're trying to do too many similar things, that's where something could possibly have an issue. So that's just a way that like different kind of trademarks can exist. If there's enough differentiation between the two, then that's fine. But the research needs to be done so that way you don't have an issue on your hands. So now another thing how the trademark process can go and also not go well for you is if you actually officially do the paperwork, your attorney says this is a good idea, it's fine, or they're just helping you do that and they miss something. Somebody who has originally used that term for a very long time, has used it in a business and has evidence for that, can kind of like argue and counter it and say, hey, no, we've been using this for quite some time, or we have a different business, etc. Like, look at that. And that's where possibly things can get messy. So if for like, let's play a little what if game. Okay. Let's one of my dog's dog bones. Okay. Let's say I have a dog bone brand. Okay. And we call it Bella's. And then somebody else though has been doing that exact same thing for years. There is room for them to argue and say, hey, we've been using it. This is going to negatively impact our business. This is why this trademark cannot go through. And so it has to go through a whole ordeal and system. It's really expensive. Sometimes it goes through though, and everything's fine and dandy and you can use the trademark. Regardless, it's a very complex system. This also is huge red flags for me because to me, this original post is not giving like, this is for you guys because you're already pre-establishing that you don't have the original like use of Hot Girls Read. You already know other people have been using that term. And so if you've only been reading for like 3-ish years, and I know damn well Hot Girls Read has been around for far longer, you're pretty much essentially vocalizing the fact of, oh, I know other people have been using it, but I don't give a hopefully you don't know that you can challenge this, take your listings down. And I don't like that because that's, I think, very contradictory of the statement, this is for you guys, because Book Talk kind of gives the vibe of like a big old community of people who read a wide variety of things. So that to me felt really just disrespectful. And going back to what I said, hot girl and hot girl shit and the hot girl term has been coined heavily by Megan Thee Stallion. Now, the original creator did make some additional posts. I'll have some screenshots up here trying to be like, oh, hey, by the way, like some people have tried to blatantly copy my work. That's why like I was saying, hey, like take it down. But again, that still doesn't make it any better. This is a bad situation. So finally, after a shit ton of backlash, this is the original creator saying that she was finally pulling back the trademark.
I want to talk about my trademark. First and foremost, the trademark is being surrendered. It is in the process of being filed right now to be abandoned. I want to say that it does take time for that to go through, so it's not going to show up automatically, but the paperwork has already been filed. But more importantly, I want to say I'm so sorry to every small business that I harmed in doing this. The decision was made more as like a business strategy decision than a human being decision. And I take full accountability for that. That was entirely wrong on my end. I hear you and I take that on the chin 100%. I want to clear up within the last week, I've seen a lot of screenshots and messages from people saying that I sent them a cease and desist or I sent them a message on Etsy to remove any Hot Girls Read items. I want to say none of those came from me because that was not my intent. I have not sent any of that since all this started. As for the Hot Girls Read apparel that I have on the shelves, it is currently up on my site with all profits being donated to 2 different charities, Room to Read and Read and Feed, which I also have linked in my bio. And I just want to say once again, I'm so sorry. This is my way of trying to right my wrongs that I do understand should not have been wrongs in the first place. And at the end of the day, I care most about community over anything when it comes to my business.
Of course, I always say this in every single video. You are not going to find me as a commentary creator over on this side of the internet. That's for damn sure. Being someone who's against a redemption arc and doing better. Okay. I hate this idea that we have to just fucking shit on everyone. I think that's stupid. I don't like the hateful, constant, angry bullshit. I don't like that. I don't support that. That's not me. So with everyone that I talk about, I am hoping that there is going to be learn and growth from this, and also a great lesson for all of us to learn, because everyone can make mistakes. I don't think that it was handled properly, but I am glad that she was saying, look, this is what I'm doing to fix it. This is what's happening. I'm sorry. Here's what I'm doing. I like that. Putting money where your mouth is. Okay. I think that's pretty good. A couple of issues with this that I want to highlight though is, number one, this is exactly why if you are someone who wants to file a trademark or is looking into something, talk to professionals. And if you do not have the money for it yet, don't be doing it. Okay. There's a huge reason why I have never started certain things. And that's because I do not have the manpower or financial capacity behind me yet to be able to do it and do it right, to do it the best that I can. But talking to a trademark attorney, having these conversations, digging into how this is going to impact your public perception is very, very important, because starting a business sounds all exciting, or trademarking something, which I plan on doing, is exciting. But again, how is that going to go? How are things going to go for you? How is a community going to perceive you? What are all the pros and cons of your business choices? Those are really, really important versus getting overly excited about being the one that owns the trademark. Now, a couple other things that I'm not a fan of is the idea of owning the trademark, not out of uniqueness, but over control. And that's something that really irks me a lot with it is, again, I really hate when people want to jump into like, let me own the trademark, not because I'm going to do anything special with it, not because I'm going to make anything cool with it, have a big business, I have strategy, but simply to be the one that owns it really irks me and is so interesting, because both of these creators had this like thing of, oh, I'm trying to involve everyone. This is about community. This is about you. But yet the actions were not exactly representing that, which is a little bit confusing to me, because I would assume like you would have that in the back of your mind constantly, is the audience that you're trying to entertain, have as customers, like etc. What I will say should have happened for both of them. Number one, Hot Girls Walk, that if you were going to actually file the trademark, that should have been for something far bigger and far more interesting. If you're going to start a business, absolutely, I love that idea. But when it comes to just filing it, I don't think you need to. And also you need to have a hell of an audience behind you, some good creative content, just something so much more interesting. I just don't see what the point is. And also, regardless, it's too general. Hot Girl walking, something I do every single day. Are you mad? That's too general. Hot Girls Read, that has been around for so long. If you're gonna do something, make it good, make it creative, and market research. My God, I swear some people do not dig deep enough, and that is a huge problem in our society alone, but including this topic in general. And also, especially for those of you who are like, oh my God, I can't. Yes, you can say it. Yes, you can say Hot Girls Read, Hot Girls Walk. Moral of the story, I think that this is a great example of you need to dig a little deeper, and some of these trademark things are just, that was just messy and a little unnecessary in my opinion, right? And also, I just think some people just don't need to be trademarking and don't need to be having businesses. Like, I know there are going to be mistakes in business, please. I already have a feeling that like, no matter how hard I try, I may not understand something or do something like 100% perfectly with any business venture that I go into, not just because I'm trying to be awful, but because like I'm a human being, so I'm not going to dog anyone for that. But I think there just needs, I feel like unfortunately some people are not doing enough due diligence and are not waiting to have the resources to make sure that what they're doing is actually a good business decision. Because also your reputation on social media, yeah, is a big deal. Some people are not big enough and don't have enough diehard fans and parasocial connections to where like their career continues, they do better, because something like this could actually genuinely quote cancel you, and you aren't having a successful like small business when you're selling your crew necks and bookmarks, or you're actually hosting events. Like, it's not doing anything. And then what? You actually get rid of the trademark, and then where does it go? You know what I'm saying? Like it may end up being incredibly wasteful. So your social presence is very, very important when it comes to business and how you approach that. So that's what I'm going to say. That's my little 2 cents. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys enjoy. And real quickly, before we end today's video, don't forget to check the link in the description below or pinned comment, or scan the QR code on the screen to get your $25 My Heritage DNA kit. And with the code Isabella, you get free shipping, 30-day free trial on their membership, and more. And you know what? That is it. And I will see you guys later on. Be safe. Love y'all. Okay, bye.